Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving headfirst into the absolute alphabet soup of digital enterprise operations. You know the ones: ITIL, DevOps, NIST, DVMS. If you've ever felt like your organization's IT and security teams are just speaking completely different languages, yeah, you are definitely not alone. So let's decode this together and figure out how to actually bring it all into one unified framework. Right off the bat, let's tackle the massive challenge at hand. In today's landscape, digital systems are the primary way we create, protect, and deliver value. But, well, that creates a pretty intense tug of war. Customers want seamless, lightning-fast speed. Regulators, they're demanding tighter security and accountability. And the business itself relies on rock-solid stability. Trying to achieve all of this at the exact same time is absolutely critical, but man, it is definitely no small feat. Here's our roadmap for solving this puzzle. We're going to cover the Digital Balancing Act, ITIL and DevOps, NIST CSF 2.0, governance, DVMS as the assurance layer, and finally, trust, resilience, and accountability. Starting with Section 1, the Digital Balancing Act, breaking down the silos. Historically, organizations tried to solve problems with completely separate disciplines. You'd have an IT team over here focused on reliability, a DevOps team over there sprinting for speed, and a security team off in their own little corner with their own frameworks. It was just chaos. As the source material points out, organizations fundamentally struggle and often fail when these disciplines operate independently. To survive today, you don't need separate, isolated functions. You need a unified operating model that aligns activities, accountability, and outcomes across the entire enterprise. Which brings us to Section 2, ITIL and DevOps, the foundation and the engine. To build that unified model, we first need our core building blocks, starting with the bedrock. ITIL, the Information Technology Infrastructure Library, remains one of the most widely adopted frameworks out there for IT service management, and honestly, for good reason. It provides the structured practices and operational discipline we desperately need to deliver reliable, predictable services. Think of it as our structural foundation. It drastically reduces operational uncertainties so we can keep our services running smoothly, day in and day out. By establishing repeatable processes, things like incident management, problem management, change enablement, service continuity, and service level management, ITIL ensures that when disruptions inevitably happen, we can control our operational risks effectively. This is the stuff that guarantees our technology services actually support our business requirements without just collapsing under pressure. But, as we all know, modern enterprises require way more than just stability, right? They require rapid adaptation to changing markets. So we install DevOps as our engine of innovation. DevOps completely transforms software delivery by tearing down those traditional, stubborn barriers between development, testing, security, and operations. By using automation, continuous delivery, and infrastructure as code, organizations can move significantly faster and release new capabilities far more frequently. Here's the catch, though. As the source material emphasizes, driving a sports car at top speed without brakes or guardrails is a total recipe for disaster. Speed alone simply isn't enough. Without appropriate oversight, organizations can inadvertently send their operational risk straight through the roof while blindly pursuing agility. That leads right into Section 3, NIST CSF 2.0, Governance, the Protective Shield. With sophisticated cyber threats literally everywhere, we absolutely must have a protective shield. The NIST Cybersecurity Framework, or CSF, version 2.0, provides the essential governance to manage increasingly complex cyber risks. What makes this so incredibly powerful is that it establishes a much-needed common language. Let's be real, it is exceedingly rare for executives, risk professionals, and technology leaders to actually speak on the same wavelength. But this framework, it makes that alignment possible. Among the 6 core functions of NIST CSF 2.0, identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover, I want you to pay special attention to that very first step, govern. This is newly added in version 2.0, and it puts a massive spotlight on leadership accountability, risk management, and organizational oversight. It really proves that security isn't just an IT problem anymore. It is a critical, top-down leadership mandate. Moving to Section 4, DVMS, the assurance layer. Think of this as the central nervous system of the whole operation. Okay, so we have our ITIL foundation, our DevOps engine, and our NIST protective shield. But how do we actually prove they're working together?
Consider the fatal flaw of traditional audits. Traditional governance is completely retroactive. It relies on these painful, periodic assessments and manual reporting. By the time you finally get the audit report in your hands, the data is completely stale. The real magic here is continuous operation, giving you real-time visibility into what's actually happening right now.
Enter DVMS, which stands for the Digital Value Management System. This is an evidence-driven governance layer. Think of it as the master blueprint and the glue holding the whole shebang together. It doesn't replace ITIL, DevOps, or NIST. Instead, it captures direct evidence from your operational activities and delivery pipelines to continuously validate that their objectives are actually being achieved. It literally allows you to move beyond assumptions and manage your enterprise based on hard, undeniable evidence. If you think about this as a unified model, you can see perfectly how each piece locks together to create a closed-loop system. ITIL provides the operational stability as the foundation. DevOps brings the speed and innovation as the engine. NIST CSF 2.0 delivers security governance as the shield. And DVMS sits right across all of them as the unifier, providing continuous assurance. In this integrated world, your ITIL processes naturally become embedded within your DevOps workflows. Your NIST security controls are automatically incorporated right into those delivery pipelines, and DVMS is just constantly evaluating the evidence from all of it. It is a real game changer. Finally, Section 5, Trust, Resilience, and Accountability. So what does this highly integrated system actually mean for the business? And why should executive leadership care? Well, it's all about these three massive business outcomes. By continuously collecting evidence through DVMS, we achieve trust because we can constantly prove our systems work exactly as intended. We achieve resilience because we are actively ready to anticipate, withstand, and recover from disruptions. And we achieve accountability because performance is objectively measured, not just guessed at. This completely transforms governance from a boring, periodic, check-the-box activity into a continuous organizational superpower. Ultimately, this integrated approach creates one undeniable single source of truth for organizational performance, risk, resilience, and digital value delivery. In an era that is completely defined by digital dependency, having this unified system gives your stakeholders, your customers, and your regulators the absolute confidence they need to know your enterprise is operating safely, swiftly, and securely. I'm going to leave you with this vital question to think about. In an era where a single digital failure can break a company overnight, are your frameworks still operating in disconnected silos, just kind of hoping for the best? Or are you actively integrating them to sustain trust, resilience, and accountability? I highly encourage you to dive deeper into how DVMS can be the continuous unifier your enterprise has been missing. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep building that digital value.